Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. In this video, I'm going to show you about dynamic distribution list, right? So how we can create dynamic distribution list, how that can be used effectively so that we can onboard as well as offboard the users from the different distribution list, right? So now or so far we have seen that we used to create not dynamic, but the distribution list, and then we used to update those manually, right? And when someone leaves the organization, we have to go ahead and remove that user from that distribution list manually, right? And if someone joins the organization, or maybe someone changes the department from one department to another, and then we have a request or task to change that user's department or distribution list access or permissions, right? And that is when it is going to be kind of mundane task and pretty manual, right? And those teams which are mostly in the changing or in the process of making these changes for the whole organization, and when the organization is bigger maybe 1,000 or more than 1,000 users across the organization, be it internal users, be it external users, and it becomes the cumbersome where we don't have the a complete control, because we have a lot many things to do. There are a lot many projects to do, different things happening across the organization, and managing these DLs, that becomes cumbersome. Even in many case, this task is also given to the support team, a kind of help desk team or support representative within the organization. And when the company doesn't have any support team or help desk team, then that work comes to the each and every administrator within the organization, and they have to do it manually one by one, right? And that is when dynamic distribution list is in rescue, right? So this is going to help us to automate that whole process, right? Who is leaving the organization, then what should be the action, right? Who is going to move from one department to another, then what actions we wanted to take, and who is joining the organization, right? So then what action should happen, right? So this is when the dynamic distribution list is going to be really helpful. Now there are different use cases, different scenarios to use the dynamic distribution list, as it is the similar to distribution list, and it has only the capability of dynamically changing the user addition, user removing, right? As well as depending on the attributes that we are going to match, right? So it includes the predefined departments or attributes, as well as the custom attributes that we can set up. So I'm going to show you both of those scenarios on custom as well as dynamic, or the static or the state attributes which we can use, and those would be effectively used for our situations, right? So let's go ahead and let me share my screen, and I can show you how you can do it and how you effectively you can use it, right? And that is also part of identity lifecycle, and it also becomes a part of governance, right? When the organization becomes bigger and bigger, right, and it becomes very monotonous task to do on each and every time, and then we look after all the options or all the ways to automate many such things, because we don't want it to go ahead and do all those small stuff one by one manually, right? And we have so many other tasks or so many other things and projects to deliver on time, right? And that is why, or that is when these activities or these kind of automations do really help to improve on the productivity, improve on the efficiency, improve on the performance, improve on the operations as well, right? And this is going to be really game changer for each and every organization. Now you might have seen that there are organizations who are small to medium in nature or in scale, and those organizations are not really been using those capabilities, because maybe because of different reasons. So there are different reasons, like if they have different DLs, those are static DLs, those are not in dynamic nature, and those DLs can be converted, or those DLs need to be upgraded to dynamic, so that people who is leaving the organization should automatically be removed, right? And the people who is joining the department, maybe from sales to marketing or vice versa, or someone from admin team to the HR team, right? Or maybe someone from uh, engineering team, they are moving to the different department or moving to the different role altogether. Maybe they are promoted on a different role, right? So these are the different things when these kind of changes should automatically happening, and we really don't have to bother because we have so many things to do across the organizations and manage things, right? So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to show you how we can create that effectively and how you can use that so that it is going to save a lot of time, a lot of efforts, and it is also going to help us to streamline the operations, right? So let me share my screen here quickly and you would be able to see it, what I'm going to do, right? So yeah, I'm here on the portal, which is Exchange Online Admin Portal, right? And from Exchange Admin Portal, I'm going to simply, so this is the Exchange Admin Portal, you can see, right? And under recipients, you need to click on groups. So once you click on group, you would see dynamic distribution list. So this is the dynamic distribution list, which is going to be very helpful for each and every cases or different requirements. And you can see I have created few distribution or dynamic distribution list, and those can be used effectively. So now you can see there are options like add a dynamic group or add a group, export, refresh, and add a naming policy. So add a naming policy, this is going to be the option for us to add naming policy, which or what are the names that we wanted to allow people to use for these list, right? Dynamic distribution list. And these are the naming policies, or this policy is going to really prevent and stop those words where we don't wanted those words to be allowed. Maybe let's say MS docs. So this is the word I don't want it to used by persons or people within the organization, right? And this is one of that word, and I can simply select on attributes or texts, and then I can add that text maybe. So this is the prefix text I wanted to add, let's say MS, and then on the text again. So this is going to be suffix. So after the org wide, right? So this is the policy that I'm going to create while, or this would be used when we are going to use. For example, here you can see the preview of the policy, and which shows MS is the prefix and then group name, and then the org wide is going to be our suffix. Let's say create it. And once that is saved, it is going to be added. Now, let's say if I go ahead and create a dynamic distribution list, right? And then click next. So before that, I wanted to show you or give you step by step here, right? Let's say go back once again. And once we are here in the section and click on add a group, and then you need to select dynamic distribution because we are going to create dynamic distribution list. And here it gives a little bit information about it, which says that sends email to all members of the list. The group's membership is updated every 24 hours based on the filters and conditions you set. This means that whatever the changes we made while creating the distribution list, and upon the changes, or maybe making changes in the attributes or any other changes, those would be taken place after 24 hours as well, right? So this is when it is going to update all the distribution list or whole distribution list and make the effective or appropriate changes in it. So let's go ahead and click next and give it a name. So let's say I wanted to give it a name as India dash BU. So I'm targeting India BU, and then I can give you a description here as well, and then click next. So here is the real magic that we are going to build, right? So magic is in what? Where we would be setting up the right set of attributes, and that is when it is going to kick in those attributes would be synchronized, and effectively it is going to make the updates as well as change the membership of each users. So each users basis on the different attributes. For example, I would add myself as an owner on this DL, and then I will also select only the following recipient types. I don't want it to add everyone across the organization through this DL. So I have an option. So here are the list of options. What are those? Users with the Exchange mailbox, mail user with external email address, resource mailboxes, mail contacts with external email address, and last, mail enabled groups, right? So even those can also be added here. But now for me, I wanted to only allow or add those accounts who has Exchange mailbox only, right? So I'm going to select that one. And then there are other rules I can create simply by using state and province, company, department, and extension or custom attributes between 1 to 15, right? So those can also be used here very extensively when we have very complex requirements. And these are the attributes. Attributes, those would be used in a situation or in the complex scenarios where we wanted to make sure something, that particular capability or particular use case we wanted to achieve, right? So this is what something we can use. So for now, I'm going to simply select department and give it a department name as a sales. Also, I can give another which is called as state and province, and I will simply give it a single word or maybe few characters like MH. And if I wanted to give a company name, right? So I can give it a company name, right? So this way, I would be only allowing certain user accounts which are matching with these attributes, right? So all of these are the different attributes, and these are the values for those attributes. And it is going to only allow the people who have department equals to sales, state and province equal to MH, and company is equal to MSA VNDS, right? So now it is going to match all of these attributes plus this condition here that we have selected, and then only it is going to add those people. Otherwise, it is not going to add any other people in this group or in this DL, because we have put in condition here, and this is going to happen automatically. So this is going to happen dynamically, and every synchronization period is going to check whether that respective user's department is matching, state and province is matching, and company is matching, right? So when we have such requirements where we wanted to define the state or company name, then definitely we can go ahead and do that. And if we have more complex than these attributes or these rules that we wanted to create, we can add additional and use the custom attributes as well between 1 to 15. So that is way beyond the our requirements or way beyond the custom or complex scenarios that we can leverage. And this is going to really help us in this situation as well. So let's say I set custom attributes 1, and here I would give it a name, let's say US-IND India. Why? Because I wanted to add someone in this DL who has custom attributes set up with this keyword or this passphrase, right? And that user would be added in this DL automatically because it is matching with the custom attributes as well, right? So this way we can set up complex requirements and then add all those people in this DL. So for now, I'm going to keep only the same, which is department equal to sales, and go ahead and click next. So here I'm going to give it a name or the email address that I'm going to put in place, which is group email address and domain. So it has picked a custom domain that I have added, and it is set as a primary domain for this tenant. So that is why it is going to be picked up automatically, and it is going to be given the name. So name can be anything. I can add any additional name or keywords here, BU or cloud infrastructure services, right? So yeah, this way we can make the changes and use it. So now at the final page where we can see a review and finishing the group addition, where we will see the summary of this. And if in case we wanted to go ahead and edit anything, modify anything and change, we can do that by hitting the edit button on each of these sections and do it. And once we are good here, we can go ahead and click create group. So once that is created, it is going to be ready for us, and then we can close this one, and we should be ready to see that here. So we will see that here, which is India BU. And then for now, it is not going to sync any of those changes that we have made in this DL, right? Because it is going to take some time to analyze the changes, and then it is going to add all those members and then owners, right? So currently we have added one owner, but if you see here, there is no member to it. Why? Because it is not yet synchronized. It needs time to synchronize all of that attributes which we have put in place here, right? And then it is going to match. So let's say I'm going to discard this one, discard this one, and going to keep only this one. Perfect. So now we have saved it and it should be synchronized after some time. It is not going to synchronize immediately, as I said. It needs time to synchronize and validate. So similarly, I will show you another DL which has the same configurations that I have made last time, and it has all the user accounts and attributes matching, which are or which has added all those users. So let's go ahead and see that one, which is here, dynamic distribution 010, right? So it has all that setup or configurations that I have added, and I'll show you. So this is the basic details under general settings, and you can see there is one owner and there are other members to it, right? So these are all the members of it, right? And these are the, here you can see this option is not enabled for us. Why? Because we have set a rule and it is going to act basis on those rules. It is not going to add or allow us to add any manual user to it, right? And it is going to simply pick up that rule, validate it, and then add any user identities to it. Here you can see the configuration. I have set the active mailboxes to it and then department equal to sales. Then only add it. And it is more than 24 hours. So it has picked up all those configurations and synchronized and added all those users who has department equal to sales. And now you can see the settings as well. So under settings, you can see a lot of information. Includes general settings where we can hide this group from the global address list, which is called as GAL, right? Then delivery management, which can also be managed. Only allow messages from people inside my organization. So I can go ahead and do that as well. Allow messages from people inside and outside my organization. So I can define that settings as well. And then manage delegates. So who can send as and send on behalf email on this DL. So we can add that details or that as well here. So maybe if I were to add my account here, I would be able to add it, and then I can set the permissions, whatever permissions type I wanted to select. So I'll just simply save it and that would be used for it. So here it says fail to delegate, update delegate at this moment, please after some time. So this could be the reason to synchronized, or it is not yet synchronized. So that is why it is not picked up. But this is the way where we can add the delegates to it. And the very important part of this is message approval, right? So here we have message approval settings that we can add, require moderator approval for message sent to this group to be delivered, where group moderator can be someone from the respective team or department. And then we can add senders who don't require message approvals, right? Maybe someone from the team as a manager or on the leadership role, they don't need approvals. and they can do it, or they would be added here to send an email to that particular DL, right? And then last option, notify sender if their message isn't approved, right? So we can set those options as well, where we have options called as only sender in your organization, and no notifications. So this way we can make appropriate changes as well, right? So yeah, this is all for this video. I wanted to show you and how effectively you can use this capability of dynamic distribution list across the organization. And it is really been helpful and useful for all the organizations, and any organization can use it, right? So yeah, that's all for this video. I hope you will like it. Please do like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to watch other videos around Microsoft 365, Azure, and FinOps. And yeah, do share this video plus other videos within your friends, colleagues, and all other people who are around you who are working on these technologies, and they will benefit from all of this definitely. So yeah, that's all for this video. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.